You're still on this earth because God says I can multiply that. Man, I wasn't even. That's why we have to be intentional about extracting poison and brokenness that's in us, because that multiplies too. That's why it's not cute when it shows up in your children and you didn't even teach it to them. I refuse to let it multiply again on my watch. It can't multiply with my kids. It was multiplying until it ran into me. And when it ran into me, it couldn't multiply any longer, because I decided it was time for some new math. It was time for a new way of being. It was time for a new way of praying. I'm a first generation, but I won't be the last generation, because multiplication.
Wow, Sister Sarah, girl, I had to go and get my tambourine out for that, because all I see is a whole new, different kind of math problem matriculating on this episode. And this time, it's all about subtraction. Hi there, I'm Professor Blackmore, and welcome back to my channel. And I just want to let the church say amen. Because I'm coming back to you today with part 2 of the Woman Thou Art Loose, ProfessorBlackmore.com pre-show. Now, I laid the foundation for part 2 of this series back in part 1 when I took you back to the divorce decree pertinent to the dissolution of the marriage relationship between Sister Sarah Jakes Roberts, aka the daughter of TDJakes, and her former husband, Robert Henson, formerly of the NFL Washington Redskins. And that is because the divorce court maintains continuing jurisdiction over the parent-child relationship between Sister Sarah's 13-year-old daughter and her former husband, Robert Henson. And so, as you can see here on page 2 of the divorce decree, the court maintains jurisdiction over any suit affecting the parent-child relationship regarding the child identified here as MH, which is Sister Sarah's 13-year-old daughter, Mackenzie Henson. And just as Sister Sarah successfully executed her Woman Thou Art Loose operation number 1 that I talked about in part 1 of this series, by terminating her marriage relationship with her former husband, Robert Henson, she now seeks to execute her Woman Thou Art Loose operation number 2 by terminating the parent-child relationship between her daughter, Mackenzie Henson, and her former husband, Robert Henson. And if you want to know if I think Sister Sarah will succeed in her Woman Thou Art Loose operation number 2, you'll have to stick around until the end. And now, if you want to get caught up on all of the details surrounding Sister Sarah's Woman Thou Art Loose operation number 1, please watch my prior video, and I'll place a direct link in the description section below. And so, let's jump right in. Now, on or about May 4th, 2022, Sister Sarah filed this petition seeking to terminate the parental rights of her former husband. And here on page 2, the child is identified again in this petition in similar fashion to the divorce decree, namely Mackenzie Ann Henson. And now, as specified here, also on page 2, for whatever reason, Sister Sarah thought her former husband was residing in Virginia. But come to find out, it seems that he actually resides in Colorado. But I'll get into this a little bit later. Now, the first thing that I wanted to know is, why does she think she can pull this off? I mean, what is the basis of her legal reason for thinking that she can actually strip her child of her biological father. And so when you look at page 3, you'll see that she states termination is in the best interest of the child, and such termination is requested because the parent, i.e. Sister Sarah's former husband, Robert Henson, has voluntarily left the child alone or in the possession of another without providing adequate support of the child and remained away for a period of at least 6 months. And the parent failed to support the child in accordance with his ability during a period of 1 year, ending within 6 months of the date of filing of this petition. Now, I find it very interesting that Sister Sarah is requesting that a guardian and/or attorney ad litem not be appointed by the court in this case, and that she states the interests of the child will be represented adequately by her and that her interests are not in conflict with the child's interests. Okay, so Sister Sarah, girl, I don't think anybody doubts how much you love your child, but I equally don't think that anybody thinks that it's wise to just take your word for it that this would be in the child's best interest without seeking the expertise of professionals who can confirm this. And so they're also making it clear here that they intend to request that the court records be sealed in this case. So we shouldn't be surprised when that happens, because that is what they love to do, seal up all the court records over there at the Potter's house. But anyway, now, I really don't think Sister Sarah thinks these grounds she stated here will be enough to once and for all and forever strip the father of his parental rights. But before I tell you what I think they're banking on, let me show you another important document in the case file. Now, here we also have the return of citation, which was returned and filed on August 5th, 2022, reflecting that it was executed on July 26, 2022 in Denver, Colorado, when Sister Sarah's former spouse was personally served with these papers. And so this means that Sister Sarah's former spouse would have needed to file his answer in this case no later than 10 o'clock a.m. on the Monday following the expiration of 20 days from July 26, which means that his answer would need to have been filed by 10 o'clock a.m. on Monday, August the 22nd, 2022. And as of this present moment in time, no answer has been filed with the court. And so I think this was Sister Sarah's true litigation strategy for this case from the beginning. I believe they're banking on Robert Henson ignoring this case so that they can try to obtain a default judgment in the case. But I cannot see how a judge would enter a default judgment in a case this important without appointing an attorney ad litem and or guardian ad litem who can confirm what effect this would have on the mental health, emotional, and psychological well-being of the child, as well as confirming that Robert Henson has in fact received notice of this case. On the other hand, though, I'm beginning to recognize that this Potter's House crew is so connected with all of these judges in this region, so it's hard to say what the heck will actually happen. All I'm telling you is what should happen. Any judge who takes the gravity of their responsibility as presiding judge of a family court should want to make sure that they check and double check that this will actually be in the best interest of this child. But as you know on here, I just ask and report and I let you decide. And so what do you think about Sister Sarah's Woman Thou Art Loose Operation number 2? Do you think this multiplication or subtraction that Sister Sarah is trying to perform in this case is in the best interest of her daughter? I mean, I really think that the purpose of all of this is so that Sister Sarah's current husband can possibly adopt the child. So, would this be a good reason to take such a drastic action? Please let me know by leaving your comments in the comment section below. And I hope you'll also give me a big thumbs up. And I hope you'll also consider donating to this video by clicking the super thanks heart button below. And while you're there, I want to also ask that you please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell so you'll be notified whenever I come back with more hot tea drama on this case from the church house, the courthouse, and everywhere else, honey child. And please also follow me on TikTok and Instagram.